Rob Reiner's When Harry Met Sally, after a few other great films like Top Gun, Inner Space, The Presidio, and you're there acting with Billy Crystal. What do you remember from that experience? How were you cast for that even?
I auditioned. I auditioned, and it's a miracle I got that part. Again, I just didn't know anything. I had done Top Gun, and from there, there's a time in your life, I always tell my son, who's an actor too, where you kind of make a profession out of auditioning. And I just auditioned for everything, and that was one. And we rehearsed quite a bit on that movie, and we read through the script quite a bit. So it was a really great bar to set in my career. It was a great experience to have, because we had 2 or 3 weeks where we just went through the script endlessly, and we improv'd around, and they added some of the things to the script, and so.
You talk about the script, and of course it's a script by the late, great Nora Ephron. And that film, there's the quintessential deli scene. I don't think there's a person alive who doesn't remember that, or know it, or think about it, or quote it at times. So, I know I do. So, what do you remember your directions were from Rob Reiner, and what was it like to film such a sort of, for the normal human being, kind of embarrassing scene almost?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I got myself into trouble that way, because one of the things about the script was that Sally was funny because of how she behaved. She was behaviorally funny. She didn't really have punchlines in the film. It's sort of how she did things rather than the payoff punchline. Because Billy was such a great comedian, he had those things. So initially the scene was written as to the two people talking about how women fake orgasms. And so because Sally was behavioral, had to be funny that way, I suggested that I just do one.
That was smart.
It was kind of like, I just made my own problem, I guess. But the day we shot was mostly about how nervous Rob was, the director, Rob Reiner, to have his mother be in the scene. And she's the one who said, "I'll have what she's having."
That's the quote.
Yeah. And the other, last week or a couple weeks ago, a friend of mine showed Daisy, my daughter, who's 13, When Harry Met Sally. She doesn't see my movies. She's seen Sleepless in Seattle and When Harry Met Sally. And he kept coming out of the living room and saying, "She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it." And then she, I guess for that scene, she kept saying to him, "What's that? What's my mom doing?" So we had to put off that conversation.
I would like to do things a little differently. Usually we have questions from the audience at the end, and because this is such a session packed